What's going on, guys? Reseller Tom here. Today we're talking about 5 common mistakes that eBay users make on a daily basis and how you can really abolish those very simple mistakes that is really holding you back from your potential, holding you back from getting more sales and really getting the sales and the profit that you really desire. So tip number 1 is going to be avoid overpaying for items. Now, it's super common that people will go into a thrift store and they will overpay for Patagonia, Lululemon, like brands that they are marking up at the thrift store. And people will go out and buy these brands. I've been a victim of that. A lot of resellers, when they first start, they are victims of that. They will pay $10, $20, $30 for an item that on eBay sells for $30. And so they're not going to make any money. So make sure that you are taking it slowly. Like the last thing you want to do is the first day you go out into a thrift store and just buy everything. That's what I did. That's what a lot of people do. You need to make sure that you're smart and take eBay very slow. In the beginning, your main objective should be learning niche brands that are doing really well, high sell-through rate brands. You can obviously do that by looking at solds. You basically look at the active and then you look at solds. So let's say there's 100 listed and 100 sold. It's 100% sell-through rate within 90 days. So that's a really desirable item. Our goal in the beginning is to only source items that are super desirable. We want to stay away from super common mall brand type, items in the beginning. As you scale up your business, then you can start to incorporate those types of brands. But in the beginning, you need to make sure that you are not overspending. You need to make sure that you are not putting a bunch of money up on items that are overpriced at the thrift stores. I see it all the time. I've been there. People in my family, they will go to a thrift store and overpay for a bunch of things. Now, and they buy things not knowing what it's going to actually sell for on eBay. Very common mistake that most people make. So if you are watching this and you're just starting, please stop spending money and instead spend more time learning desirable brands. So going through what sold videos, going through thrift hauls and seeing what is actually selling for a high dollar amount. That's going to really go a long way. It's going to save you so much money. Because when I first started, I spent so much money on brands that I thought would do good, but then what Goodwill was pricing them at is what they were selling for. So I wasn't making anything. I was actually losing money, which is where you do not want to be. Step number 2 is obviously going to be, getting super heavy items. So if we go to the bins, let's say we go to the bins and we're talking about clothing here. Like huge jackets, huge items that are going to be harder to ship out is a very common mistake. I've been there. What I think about is like this big leather jacket that I got when I first started, or even this huge military coat that I got. It wouldn't fit in a flat rate envelope or a legal flat rate. It barely fit in a flat rate box, right, which is like $15. And so a very common mistake is we get items that are way too heavy. So at the bins, obviously they charge, where I'm at, they charge $3 per pound. So I got this huge jacket that ended up being like $12 to $15 just to get it at the bins. So if you're going to the bins, make sure you're getting light stuff like cashmere, silk, lighter things. At the bins, you really want to try to go towards first class or just on the cusp. If it's like Levi jeans and it's like very high sell-through rate, then yes, you could get that at the bins because it has good, sell-through rate, and you probably wouldn't want to list those jeans at least $25. It'll probably cost you like $6 at the bins. So you really have to be mindful of that margin. So how much are you spending? How much are you selling it for? And then how many fees? You have to really account all the fees, account everything, the shipping costs. You really have to make sure that you're not overspending on heavy items and really try to pack it down to a first class type item in the beginning, just so you get really good at the whole process. And then step number 3 is going to be make sure you are researching comps and not overpricing, because most people, and I've been there many times, you overprice in the beginning and you're wondering why your items aren't selling. It's because you're way above market. If you're way above market, no one's going to buy your item. It's just going to sit there for months, even years. So you really have to see what they're selling for and try to find the medium of where the market, what the demand of the market is. And so, like, for instance, like a Polo Ralph Lauren, just basic shirt, I would price at like $24 when I first started, when a lot of them sell at like $5 to $12. And so really studying the market and really getting your prices right is really going to go a long way with actually moving your items, because most people will overprice the item because maybe they spent a lot for it, which was the step number one. In that situation, it just may take a long time to sell it. That's why you really want to try to get things at a really low price. That's why I love the bins, because I spend like $1, and so pretty much any price I'm going to make profit on. And then step number 4 is a very common mistake, is people won't provide measurements. When I first started, I didn't provide any measurements. I didn't get a photo of the material tag. And that's something that people will ask for. If you don't provide the measurements or the material tag, you're going to get so many messages on eBay, people asking, hey, what's the material? What's the measurements? And so you can mitigate that and save way more time by just providing the measurements when you're doing it, which goes a very long way. And it's going to convert way more sales. Your conversion rate is going to go way up because you're actually providing those measurements in the listing and the fabric. Those are the two most common questions I get. It's what's the measurements, what's the fabric. So make sure for every single listing you do that. And then step number 5 is getting an inventory system right off the bat. The last thing you want to do is get a crazy storage situation where you can't find items and it's taking you hours to try to find an item. I've been there. It's the worst thing ever. You spend hours and hours trying to find the item. You can't find it. You have to cancel the order. That's really bad. So right off the bat, try to figure out some type of inventory system. I'm going to create a video on how to do this inventory system. If you want to see it, make sure you are subscribed, because I'm going to have a video coming out very shortly on exactly how I did this. It takes me literally 10 seconds to find an item, and it's pretty much the best decision I've ever made in my eBay business. That's the biggest mistake, is buying a bunch of clothes and losing items and not being able to find it. So if you guys like content just like this, make sure you're subscribed, because I looked today, 80% of people that watch this content are not subscribed. So make sure you subscribe, and you're going to get the top tier, high value reselling content to make you way more profit. That's what this channel is designed for, is to help you make way more profit, to help you shortcut, and basically help you get to the next level. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video. It's going to help me be way more motivated to make more videos just like this. And that being said, we'll see you guys very soon. Peace.